So with BaZi Astrology, you have many sections of your chart. Today we are taking apart one section. It's called the Destiny Luck Pillars. This is taken with a formula from ages 1 to 11. You can begin the age, and every 10 years, your destiny, according to the Chinese, has changed. And this is the details of Bethany's chart between the ages of 38 and 48 and 58. If we were doing the entire Destiny Luck Pillar, we would just take this 58 to 68, 68 to 78, 78 to 88, and so on. You can see how you can get one's entire life in these 10-year compartments that we're going to go over today a little bit. So this will be like reading Bethany's chart. If you could picture this section being underneath, that's why this is over here. I ran out of space, folks. Plain and simple. So this is one part of the formula of your personalized BaZi, otherwise known as 4 pillars chart. And in this particular instance, Bethany, we are looking at from ages 38 to 48. What is going on in her chart? So we have something called the 60 elements. This goes up at the very tippity top of the 4 pillar chart. And what it's going to say is it's going to light up the pillar in which it's presenting itself. So in this case, this is really giving me an element for what the metal and the ox are doing. This is earth. I didn't even write that down, folks. So what it's doing is I take a look at earth, the element within the whole chart, and what's it doing. Right now, these are just going to sit there. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the 60 elements, but you know that it will light up the pillar from the person's chart. We have 4 pillars: the year, the month, the day, and the hour. So then it's the heaven stem. If you remember, our elements are called the heaven stems. The heaven stem that is for this person's age from 38 to 48, we looked that up in our Chinese ephemeris, the 10,000-year-old calendar, which will have the characters. That's how I denote what is the element and what is the earth branch, the animal. In this instance, for Bethany, from 38 to 48 years of age, she's in the decade of metal ox. Well, how does the metal ox interrelate to her other elements and her other earth branches? And we're going to go through that now. So the metal ox gives us the template that we look at her chart and see, are there any combinations? What's going on there? We're also looking at Bethany's 9-star numbers. So at the top of your chart, when you have 3 9-star numbers, that birth star, Bethany's is a 6 metal, comes into play with the houses during these decades of your life. Well, Bethany is in the house of 2. This is an earth house. And we combine well, what is that doing for Bethany's 6 metal? Well, metal and earth get along. So this is an okay house for Bethany. Metal, her 6 metal of her birth star number, and the 2 earth are going to connect. She's in the house of 2. So earth is nurturing, support. Earth actually feeds metal. So this is a very good decade for Bethany in the sense of it's creating a foundation of fertile soil to benefit the outcomes of some of the energy she's working on. Let's go further into that. When we're looking at the stem, in this case metal, how does metal combine with the rest of Bethany's chart? So when I look at that, I notice that this metal combines with her 4 pillars, and it creates the element of water in the 4th pillar. Well, that tells me a lot of information. So the 4th pillar is dealing with energies of children, people working under you, and your outlook on life. The water element is connected to her kids and career, and this is a good outcome for her. So when we have the stem, and remember, the elements are the head that move the body. So the elements really do all the heavy lifting. The earth branches, otherwise known as the animals, are kind of along for the ride. So if the head turns, the body goes in that same direction. Same goes with the elements here. So we will move on. What does the ox do in her chart elementally? Well, it creates earth, another element, in the first and the fourth columns. So earth for Bethany is connected to parent energy and support, mentor, teacher element, or energy, sorry. And the earth in the first and the fourth pillar. Let me just look and see, where are my glasses? The outcome for this is very good. So anything that's coming from this outcome in the first and the fourth pillars, the elements and energy she's working on, has a very good outcome for her. Then we look at the Trinity, the trine, the strongest of the elements in nature. And how does this fit in? Well, in this instance, it's lighting up her second pillar of snake. That's the career column. That's taking your power back energy, and that's your parent energy. So we know that a lot of that is stimulated in this decade. This is going to be about her working on her career, making a shift between this age. What do I want to do? What do I say I want to do? How does it look? You need to get very specific when dealing with energy, because the universe wants to know exactly what to give you. If you're not very clear, guess what? The universe isn't very clear. So Bethany from 38 to 48 is working on some of these themes. Children, career, people working under her, parent energy. She is connecting with her mom a little bit more. She is making a point of working on that relationship. So this is making sense to me. When I get to the discord part of things, the reason there's a line here is nothing in her chart is of discord at this moment for this destiny luck pillar, 38 to 48. Remember, this should be under here. Then we go to repulsion, and I look, is anything lighting up in her 4-pillar chart? No, we don't have any repulsion for this decade at this time. Then I look at punishment, and again, take all these words with a grain of salt. We are converting from English to Chinese, Chinese to English, and punishment sounds like a big word, and it kind of is. This is where I would want her to really take a look. In the punishment column, it is lighting up the first pillar of home and home base and ancestors. So I would tell this client, take a look at your house. Focus on your home from 38 to 48. What's going on there? Do you need to make a correction? Are there maintenance issues? Do you need to make a move? Maybe you're making a few moves within this 38 to 48. But the theme certainly is about home and home base for this one. Then we look at the pillar numbers, and remember there's 4 of them. What are they lighting up in the way of elements? So in this particular instance, we're looking at how does metal light up the 4 elements in her chart? Water, wood, metal, and fire. Where do they get lit up? Well, they get lit up in the 2nd and the 4th pillars. So these are columns, pillars of energy that might be the theme for the next 10 years. 2 being career. Notice how they overlap. We've had a lot of career reminders. I would be telling this client career's a big focus for you during this decade. You really are making quite a shift in this area. And then the 4th pillar that gets lit up with energies here is your outlook on life, people working under you and your children. These are the themes connected to this decade as well that this person's working on. So there's a lot going on in this particular destiny luck pillar of 38 to 48 for this person. Then we will read the next decade for Bethany, 48 to 58. What does that uncover as we shift from this decade to this. Now, is energy a light switch? No, it's not. Is it going to switch on to this pillar at the age of 48? No, it doesn't work that way. It slowly kind of comes into play. And remember, our New Year's for Chinese calendar is in or around February 4th. So when this does go to switch, we have that time frame to consider. Okay, we'll move to this now. Bethany's Destiny Luck Pillar from 48 to 58. Remember, we're dealing with ages, years of age, how old, what's going on, as opposed to other parts of the chart. We're dealing with the year, or we're dealing with the whole picture. This is simply the Destiny Luck Pillar. This theme is now under Metal Rat. What happens when we look up Metal Rat in conjunction to how it relates to Bethany's 4-pillar chart? Well, now she's moving into the house of 3. This is wood. No longer is it earth. Okay, and we know that she's a 6 metal birth star. And metal chops wood. So I can already tell Bethany, you're going to have a really busy decade from 48 to 58. And you know what I'm guessing? All this career shift is going to take off from 48 to 58. And now there's a lot of wood chopping this metal is going to be doing. She is going after things in that decade. What is she going after? Well, 3 is thunder. It makes a sound. It wants to be known. It wants to be heard. She's working on her reputation. She's building her business. That's what I'm noticing here. When we look at the stem, okay, so we are looking, the stem is the elements. How does that interplay with Bethany's other elements? Well, this in particular created a metal element. So this metal combines with one part of her chart, obviously the 2nd pillar. It created another metal. What is metal element for Bethany? It's the self element, siblings, like-minded people, friends. So she is surrounding herself with like-minded people. She is now taking this career and running with it, chopping wood and surrounding herself with her colleagues, with people more like-minded, with more therapists. That's what she's studying right now. So in this particular instance, the outcome is justice. All this hard work from the career change pays off, finally. She has justice. She is working very hard in this 48 to 58 decade to really build the reputation on the career she shifted to. Okay, the branch has no combinations. So this rat did not combine with anything in Bethany's 4 pillars to create more information for me. So I put a line there. Then we go down to the Trinity, the trine. Is anything stimulated for the trine of this metal rat and Bethany's chart? Well, it is. It lights up her dragon of self and partnership. Okay, and the 3rd pillar, which is that theme exactly. So that tells me this is a very strong situation. All this work that Bethany did to build, create her new career, to build on this, the like-minded people, the chopping of the wood. Guess what? She just strengthened herself, and in so doing, her partnership. Why? Because it's a mirror. If I'm doing great over here, he's doing great over there. Or she's doing great over there, and he's doing great over there, or she, he. Do it however you want, but it's working. This person has found the strength in the combination of all of this. Look at all this information we get in one tiny little compartment of your chart. Are you kidding me here? Then we go on to the discord. Is there any discord from this metal rat decade and Bethany's chart? I have none, so I put a line here. Remember, this section's underneath here for all intents and purposes, and we're now dealing with this column from 48 to 58. We can notice there's no repulsion and there's no punishment. Good for Bethany. Good on ya. However, we've lit up pillars 2, 3, and 4 more than just the last decade. So now 3 has gotten involved with the 2 and the 4, and 3 is the self and the partnership. So we know that this theme of strengthening continues to light up this entire decade. Will be Bethany focus on going for it, building her reputation, building herself, and in so doing her partnership. So we look at this whole picture in these 2 decades of a snapshot. We're simply taking a quick snapshot of this chart and look at all this information we've just given you. Reminder that this is personalized to you. Everyone starts between the age really 0 to 11, but 1 because we need an age there. And this particular person started at the age of 8, and every 10 years that destiny luck pillar was set into place based on her natal chart. So thank you for being with me to learn more about the destiny luck pillars.